If you want to join Thanksgiving, come wash the dishes. Her voice cracked through the phone like a whip. Laughter spilled behind her. Glasses clinked. Someone said my name, followed by a joke I couldn't quite hear. I pictured her there. My daughter-in-law, red wine swirling in crystal, gold cuffs flashing under chandelier light. My son beside her, smiling the way he used to smile at me. They called my absence freedom. I looked down at my hands. Thin white scars mapped my skin like fault lines. Years of holding a family together while it quietly tore at me. Enjoy, I replied. Just that. Silence from my end, celebration from theirs. She hung up without goodbye. The villa windows reflected snow-covered mountains. Switzerland was silent in a way my life never had been. Clean air, clean lines, clean distance. My phone vibrated once. A photo notification. She had tagged herself in a post. Family is everything. I watched the screen glow against the dark room. Family. Interesting word. Because 3 weeks ago, I discovered something about my family that made the word rot in my mouth. I didn't cry then. I didn't shout. I watched. And every lie they told after that became mine. It started with paperwork. Always does. A bank notification meant for my son, mistakenly forwarded to me. Joint account adjustments. Transfers I didn't recognize. Large ones. The sender name wasn't unfamiliar. It was mine. Properties I owned. Dividends I had structured carefully. Assets moved quietly into a trust I had never approved. I asked him about it gently. He avoided my eyes. She handles the finances now, Mom. It's easier. Easier. For whom? That night I opened my private ledger. Cross-checked everything. Dates, signatures, digital approvals. My signature was there. Perfect. Except I hadn't signed anything. I requested the original documents from the bank. Calm voice. Polite tone. No accusations. When the courier arrived, I made tea before opening the envelope. The signature was a flawless imitation. Not random. Not clumsy. Practiced. The beneficiary? Her. Not my son. Her. I felt something then. Not anger. Clarity. I remembered small things. Her sudden interest in my estate planning. The way she'd insisted on simplifying everything when my husband passed. The way she encouraged my son to step back from his career and let investments work for them. The way she began calling my home their future property. Subtle, smiling, always respectful in public. Behind closed doors, suggestions. Maybe it's time you rest, Mother. Let us take over. Rest. They were preparing for my disappearance long before I considered leaving. And Thanksgiving? It wasn't an invitation. It was a reminder. I was already being erased. I didn't confront her. That would have been emotional. I prefer strategy. First, I contacted a forensic document examiner. Quietly, discreetly. Switzerland has excellent professionals who don't ask questions when paid properly. Forgery confirmed. Not amateur work. Someone had access to my original documents. Practice samples. Inside access. Next, I requested a complete audit of all accounts connected to my name. Transfers extended further than I imagined. Property taxes paid from my funds for a house registered under her maiden name. Investment accounts opened using power of attorney forms I never granted. I smiled at that part. Power of attorney requires notarization. I checked the notary. Retired 2 years ago, yet his stamp appeared on the form. Sloppy. Greed makes people careless. Meanwhile, I maintained silence. I sent them photos of Switzerland. Snow on the terrace. My breakfast overlooking the lake. The caption simple. Peace suits me. Her response came quickly. Looks expensive. Be careful not to overspend at your age. Concern. So sweet. I hired an attorney, then a private investigator. Phone records revealed something else. Conversations between her and a financial advisor planning asset acceleration. Translation? Move everything before I notice. Too late. I already had. I transferred the remaining assets into an irrevocable trust beyond her. Reach. Legal, impeccable, untouchable. Then I did something she never expected. I posted a public album. My new beginning. Photos of the villa, the gardens, the wine cellar. Within minutes, my phone began to vibrate. Once, twice, 10 times. 71 missed calls. From her. Not my son. Her. I let it ring. Revenge is not loud. It is patient. When I finally answered, she didn't greet me. What is this? She demanded. A house, I said. You said your finances were limited. I said no such thing. Breathing on the other end, rapid, sharp. You transferred everything. Correction, I secured everything. There was a pause. Then the slip. We already filed the transfer documents. Already. I leaned back in my chair. They've been invalidated. Silence. The signatures were forged, I continued. The notary stamp is fraudulent. I assume you didn't verify his retirement? A small sound. Not quite a gasp. You're accusing me? No, I said softly. I'm informing you. I heard my son's voice faintly in the background, confused, asking, what was wrong? She didn't put him on. Of course she didn't. The bank has been notified, I added. So has my attorney. The investigation will be thorough. You wouldn't ruin your own family. There it was. The weaponization of guilt. I almost admired it. My family, I replied carefully, doesn't forge my name. And then I ended the call. No shouting. No threats. Just facts. 2 weeks later, they came to Switzerland, unannounced, desperate. My son looked thinner, tired, betrayed in a way he didn't yet understand. She looked furious, controlled, but cracking. We sat in the villa's living room, snow falling beyond glass walls. I handed him a folder. Forensic reports, audit trails, email transcripts between her and the advisor discussing aging leverage. His hands trembled as he turned the pages. She tried to interrupt. I raised one finger. Silence. He looked at her the way a man looks at a stranger wearing his wife's face. You said she was confused, he whispered. She said nothing, because there was nothing left to say. I will not press criminal charges, I said calmly. For your sake. Her eyes flickered with relief. But, I continued, you will sign a full renunciation of any claim to my estate immediately, and you will repay what was transferred. Her relief died. That's everything, she said. Yes, I agreed. It was. She hesitated. I stood. Security waited outside, quiet, professional. This is not revenge, I told her. It's correction. She signed. Because she had no choice. They left before sunset. My son didn't meet my eyes. He will learn. Eventually. The villa is quiet again. No laughter. No accusations. Just the soft hum of heat beneath marble floors. I walk through rooms that belong entirely to me. Not as inheritance. Not as expectation. But as choice. She celebrated while I bled. She called my absence freedom. She thought my silence was weakness. It wasn't. It was calculation. I did not crush her with anger. I dismantled her with truth. And as the snow buries the footprints leading away from my door, I understand something with absolute clarity. Some betrayals deserve forgiveness. Others deserve distance. She mistook me for fragile. Now she knows. I was only patient.